that's loud. What a great crowd tonight. A lot of enthusiasm on everything we're doing, I hope. We're going to call the Board of Mayor and Alderman meeting for October the 10th, 2017. And as I call it to order, I'm going to remind everyone about early voting goes till the 19th. So those of you who are looking on TV, if you haven't voted, please go vote. And if you're watching this on YouTube or something tomorrow, please go vote. So we're going to start out with the invocation tonight. I'll ask Alderman Barnhill if he would lead us in that, and I'll lead the Pledge of Allegiance and run the meeting from down here just for a short while. So Alderman Barnhill, please.
Would you bow and pray with me? Heavenly Father, we come to you in prayer tonight. Thank you for this great nation, for the freedoms that we enjoy. We thank you for allowing us to be here tonight. But we also ask your blessings upon the many people that are suffering in this country. We know that there has been floods. We know that there's been disasters in Las Vegas. We know that there are many, many people who are suffering because of these catastrophes. We ask that you be with them. Be with our first responders. Be with our police officers, our firemen. And be with the soldiers who are in foreign countries protecting our freedoms. Be with their families. We ask all of these blessings and prayers in your name. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Next is an opportunity for citizens to make comments for items that are not on the agenda. I don't have any speaker cards, and I don't see anyone rushing up, so we'll move on to communications for the Williamson County Commission. I don't see anybody from them tonight, so we'll move on to approval of the minutes of September 26, 2017 work session and the Board of Mayor and Aldermen from the same date.
Move for approval.
Appropriate motion.
Second.
Seconded by the Vice Mayor. Any discussion? Ready to vote? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. Tonight we're going to have a proclamation. I'd ask Emily Hunter to come up and any other staff you want with you. I can tell that y'all did not write this proclamation because it's not very long.
Shots fired.
Not that that's a big point, because we really appreciate what you do. So, whereas city planning is an effective tool for managing growth, protecting sensitive environmental features, preserving historic resources, and enhancing quality of life, and whereas city planning provides an opportunity for all residents to be involved in making choices that determine the future of their community, and whereas the Franklin Municipal Planning Commission adopted its long-range planning document, Envision Franklin, this year to guide growth and development to create exceptional places for people, whereas the American Planning Association and its Professional Institute endorses National Community Planning Month as an opportunity to highlight the contributions sound planning principles and plan implementation make the quality of our cities. Let me read that again. Whereas the American Planning Association and its Professional Institute endorse National Community Planning Month as an opportunity to highlight the contributions sound planning principles and plan implementation made to the quality of our cities. And whereas the celebration of National Community Planning Month gives us the opportunity to recognize the participation and dedication of the Planning Commission, the municipal staff, the design professionals, and citizens who have contributed their time and expertise to make the city of Franklin a leading community. Amen. I, therefore, Dr. Ken Moore, Mayor of Franklin, declare National Community Planning Month, October. Clap. Great communities are in action. Right? Okay. Any miscellaneous reports as I go back up?
I just want to make an announcement about the Celebration of Nation Festival that will be held this Saturday in downtown 4th Avenue and down near the Puckett's area. Would love for everyone to come out. This is a free festival that we put on every year. Sister cities of Franklin and Williamson County host this event with all our sponsors, but we highlight our diversity of countries, of individuals that live within our city and our community. So please come out and have a great music. And we're looking forward to you all coming out supporting us with Celebration of Nation, 10 a.m. until 7 p.m.
Any other miscellaneous reports? Seeing none, we'll move on to the consent agenda, and all items on the consent agenda are considered to be non-controversial and routine in nature by the governing body, and tonight we're looking at items 10 through 21. So,
Move for approval.
if we're going to do that, and then I'll go back to that.
Second.
Appropriate motion, seconded by Alderman Barnhill. Any discussion? Ready to vote? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Passes unanimously. I appreciate the Vice Mayor pointing out to me that we have a presentation by the Pilgrimage Music Festival, and I did see some of them sneak in, so.
Come on up.
Please introduce
It's rare that I
yourself.
get to be the lead singer for 5 minutes.
You take it, Brand.
So this is, the idea was always to be
No,
able to.
you got to
come-
introduce yourself, Brant.
Oh,
This is
pardon me,
different.
pardon me.
Yeah.
Brant Wood, one of the producers of Pilgrimage.
Kevin Griffin, one of the producers of Pilgrimage.
So the idea was always that we would be invited back to come and thank you folks. And we are here again after our 3rd year of producing your hometown festival with lots of great stories and statistics. And we'd like to present some of those things to you all this evening. But first and foremost is a heartfelt, sincere thank you for allowing us to be stewards of this music festival that is yours. It's the communities, it's the music industries, and Kevin and I, in spending with our partners and staff all year handcrafting this thing. It's been certainly it's a labor of love, but we're continually reminded of how fortunate we are to be in this community that you guys lead so well, and it's an inspiration to us, and it's frankly very humbling to be able to deliver something we've dreamed of for a long time, and now that we have such support and some solidity with this thing, that we get to sit here and say thank you, and we really mean that, and it means the world to us.
Absolutely. You know, through this whole process, you know, the city has been a part of it from the very beginning, from our first meetings with folks, Brandy, Mayor Moore, Monique and her great team, and different people in the city, Mary Pierce, Aubrey Preston, and everybody asks us, from local press to national press like Rolling Stone and USA Today, what do you attribute to the success of the festival? And we say without fail, it's like, you know what, we did it with the city from the get-go. We asked them what they wanted. It was a give and take. We really came hat in hand, asking the city what they saw as an asset to their community. And because we've done that and we did our due diligence, at the request of the city, oftentimes, the festival is a success. So we couldn't do without you guys. And not to belabor to the point, but thank you again.
And so as Kevin touched on, I think that it really began with some people getting behind it, but this festival is vetted and interfaced with the city staff. First and foremost is Monique and her team, and just how Eric and his staff have supported us and guided us and helped us create constructive evolution with many of the things that affect the community, whether you're going to the festival or not. There's still cars and pedestrians and bicycles and music and things that are, to the best of our ability, falling into the cultural wavelength of that weekend and the year, and frankly, people looking forward to it is really why we do this. We did prove the events got some stability this year. It would be, and we'll hopefully, next year maybe get back to even and keep moving forward. We want to be around for a long time. We want to be very receptive to ideas and input. We always will be. We're a phone call away at any time. And so, once again, thank you. And thanks goes out to the city staff. It reverberates from there to the authorities, Williamson County Medical. If you've been at the festival, you see how ever-present the community is and all of its working and recreational posture. So without further ado, if y'all wouldn't mind, we have a short video reel that sort of shows, it's a recap, it's fun, if you'll allow. Gotta have a light show. Short and sweet. Just like that video, we always keep this festival small and boutique with the city, the venue, and frankly, our aspirations are to continue to book more and more discerning and diverse talent, to continue to raise the bar with the food and beverage experience, the decor, the hospitality of the staff and security, all those things we sweat the details on, and we spend a lot of time thinking about and pulling together each year, knowing that each chapter needs to be more evolved than the last one. So that's important to us. Once again, we're always open for your thoughts and input. Now tomorrow we have the counterpart to this meeting where we sit and have a post-mortem with the authorities that are the closest to us during the festival, before the festival, and then afterwards we break it down, talk about what went well, what we can improve on, and those are always very constructive meetings. And we spend a lot of time thinking about that, getting ready for them, and then looking at our notes and reacting positively after that. So we put together a little fact sheet, and I won't go through all the details, but it's a sort of a greatest of the mountaintops, if you will, of the festival year 3 in Franklin. Our attendance was significantly larger as we had hoped, as we permitted for. Saturday's attendance, Justin Timberlake was...
We call that the JT effect.
But we had a 26,000 paid attendance. If you add kids who get in free under 10 and our staff and our artists, that number gets up to probably 28,000, maybe a little north of that. Artists and guests are always coming and going, so that number is constantly in flux. Interesting demographics. If you've looked at our materials before, they've stayed steady at about a 40-year-old average patron. That is twice as old as a lot of festivals, and that's kind of how we want it. This is a great kind of a cross-section of your community. It's got numbers festivals would frankly really wish to have in terms of all your demographic statistics that you see right there. You're looking at Williamson County. Our 47% of our attendance is from the Nashville-Franklin area. Your other big metropolises are well represented because people travel. People love traveling to Nashville and Franklin. People really do travel very well for pilgrimage. Who's scrolling down? Could y'all, there we go. So, thank you. So we have our tax revenue is solid, $533,000 for Williamson County and state of Tennessee just off of ticket sales, another $148,000 off of food and beverage taxes. There's some hotel occupancy numbers there, but I'll just sum it up and say that every hotel statistic is significantly up for the pilgrimage weekend. That means more people are traveling here. We have hundreds and hundreds of staff and artists who are staying as local as they can. The hotels fill up and sell out pretty quickly. And that's something that you guys see regularly here with all your corporate campuses. But the good news is Pilgrimage has dominated the travel market that weekend here. Our parking count, there's the inside story there is we love parking cars on site because if we were to have bad weather, people can shelter in place. That's super important. It's unusual for a festival to be able to park folks on site. We give people in our off-site lots free parking if they come in 3 or more. Those statistics show you that half of our off-site parking, which is at 3 main areas, you guys know our plan, it's Liberty Elementary, Ligon Field, and Bicentennial Park. Half the cars pay nothing because they have 3 or more in their car. That's just a gesture to create more carpooling and more of a green gesture on our part. And there are other numbers in there are the attendance minus the parking attendance all walk to the festival. That's something we've been working on hard, and we have great attendance on the walk up. You guys and the authorities have given us a lane of Franklin Road, as you know, and we manage that piece to get people safely in and out of the venue. We have, with significant investment, built a trash recycling program that is the model of festivals, California notwithstanding, because they do literally recycle everything. We're getting there. It's just like in y'all's community, the recycling piece takes time, effort, investment. We have 44% of the trash generated at Pilgrimage is diverted to recycling efforts. That's very, very good for this part of the country, and that's something we're really proud of. Marketing off the hook. People love rock and roll. People love Franklin. Put those two things together, and we have a very great media story, driving a ton of impressions. Ellie and her team at the CVB are such strong partners with us. I could spend quite a bit of time talking about it, but it's a great story. Makes it relatively, I'm not going to say easy, but to market this festival in conjunction with the Franklin traffic and impressions is something that is a massive benefit.
And it goes back to what we were saying earlier, that it's not just us and our PR person, Ashley Leno, who's amazing, but it's Ellie and the CVB, it's Melissa and the mayor's office, everybody working in tandem to get these numbers. So it's a group effort.
And then just, the boilerplate social media, we grow every year. That's a big part of young people's awareness of music and the way they communicate. So we double down on digital, and we're growing our communities there. Our communities and the Franklin databases and communities constantly work together and overlap in a marketing way, and to post-festival celebrate the culture of Pilgrimage and Franklin, and they're starting to be this communal language. So underneath that is all our media partners, and then the next phase of what we're doing here tonight, and that's to thank some folks that are more than just beneficiaries of Pilgrimage. We have a very strong relationship with the Friends of Franklin Parks. They've been early, and they've doubled down with their efforts and their vision for Harlansdale and other parks. The relationship we have with them is constantly improving and evolving to the point where we're talking about what's on their plate to improve and how we can add more dollars and more efforts and more awareness and more visibility.
Thank you.
So thank you so much, Friends of Franklin Park, and they have some projects coming up that we plan on continuing to support. So the next beneficiary is an exciting one because we've always believed in and taken inspiration from the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival that heavily supports education in the New Orleans community. We also support the education of people in the music and creative arts and industry, and so we've been able to do that with a measure that we've created this year. It's here in my hand. It's for the Dark Horse Institute scholarship that we've set up with the help of the JWCC Foundation in Nashville, a an educational piece that is a first for us to be able to further the education of a young person who believes in the music industry. And this is for creating an engineer in the music business. This is this operation is at the factory.
The factory.
That's right.
Yeah.
So we'd love to hand this to you, Haley, if you're here. This is the student who won the scholarship.
Let's make it official. You gotta have Mayor Moore in the background.
I'll scoot out.
Thank you.
And then to wrap up, because we know y'all have a busy night, and this was, we so much appreciate this time. We have one more piece, and it rounds out the other sort of aspect of what we think is important for somebody who's, for an organization like ours that's pursuing efforts like this, is to do this piece.
MusiCares, if you don't know, is the Grammys charitable arm. They're a safety net for musicians. They are out there for doing medical needs for musicians. If you lost your gig, we'll help you make your rent. If you had your equipment stolen, post-Katrina, they spent over $5.8 million helping musicians relocate, some of them here to Nashville. Right now, they're on the phone with people in Napa, in Sonoma, and Anaheim, musicians who've lost their equipment. I mean, today, these wildfires are crazy. They're boots on the ground, rolling up their sleeves. The flood here, they helped out. They continue to do great things. I know so many musicians who have been helped by MusiCares. It's an honor to be associated with this great organization. And I'd like to call up Debbie Carroll from the Nashville chapter to accept this check on behalf of Pilgrimage. Oh. Debbie Carroll, ladies and gentlemen. Did I leave out anything out, Debbie, that's important? Okay, good. Guys, thank you so much.
Thank you.
So that's it, you guys. We've submitted our application for next year. We appreciate you. I guess that wasn't it. But we appreciate you guys. You put a lot of energy and resources into supporting us and into helping us plan this festival, and it just affirms that we're very fortunate to be where we are, and we will continue to be diligent stewards of this event to make it an important part of the community, to continue to deliver a safe, fun, unique, authentic festival to Franklin.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, we're ready to go to item 5, this is a public hearing, consideration ordinance 2017-13 to be entitled an ordinance to rezone 36.71 acres from light industrial to specific developmental residential district and 15.83 acres from light industrial district to a state residential district for the Shadow Green PUD subdivision for the property located at 1152 Hillview Lane.
Thank you, Mayor. It's hard to follow that.
It is Community Planning Month, though.
Yeah, that's true. The applicant is requesting a rezoning from light industrial to STR 5.0. The envisioned Franklin design concept for this area is mixed residential, which supports single-family, big houses, duplexes, and townhomes, but not multifamily. The timing of the development plan submittal was significantly delayed while the MAC-Hatcher alignment was worked out with TDOT, and therefore staff is reviewing the suitability of this development against a previously approved land use plan amendment, which allowed for the broader interpretation of the big house concept. Staff recommends favorably to the Board of Mayor and Aldermen.
We've already done it. We did do the consent agenda, if I remember correctly.
Yes, we did.
I got tied up in that.
You did it before that.
It was overwhelming. Okay, I see no public comments. I declare the public hearing closed. Would consider a motion.
Move for approval.
Appropriate motion, seconded by the Vice Mayor. Any discussion? Alderman Skinner.
Mayor, in nearby development of townhouses, I remember there was concern about how close it was to our firing range and garbage transfer station. And I think we had on those deeds some sort of disclaimer. And this is almost in the same area. So do we have a provision that those will also?
I'll look to Greg if you want to speak towards that.
Hi, my name is Greg Gamble, representing the applicant for this development proposal. And we have no objection to including that same awareness affidavit with this development as we did with Shadow Green.
Okay, yes, and it would only be for the things that are for sale.
We need to amend
Well,
that.
we were just talking.
Okay, is that an,
Amendment?
Shauna, is that, do they need to include it in the motion, or can this be done administratively?
A lot of times we put that on a plat, like language like that on a plat, and I don't know if all of it has to be replatted or not. That's what I was trying to figure out. Does it have to be replatted? It does. We can note that for this, but we'll put it on the plat, because you're right, that we do need to.
Let's go ahead and incorporate it on the motion, though, so that it's, that you give that direction.
I would recommend that you include it with this
Motion.
plan approval and with this motion, and then when the final plat does come, we'll make sure that that is placed on it. And if a final plat isn't required, we'll make sure they submit one with the site plan.
So is it on this one, or would it be on the next for the,
It'd be the next item, the development
what I
plan,
thought.
actually.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Okay,
that would
well,
be the
I'll
better place.
we'll do that.
Yeah.
okay, you ready to vote? Everybody clear on what we're doing? Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, passes unanimously. Number 6, this is a public hearing consideration resolution 2017-20B entitled Resolution Approving Development Plan for the Shadow Greens PUD subdivision for the property located at 1152 Hillview Lanes. Anybody? Go ahead, Brad.
Sure. The applicant is proposing to construct 22 townhomes and 10 multifamily apartment buildings for a total of 182 residences. The townhomes will match the existing townhomes constructed in the Through the Green PUD subdivision. The site borders the proposed location of Mac Hatcher Parkway to the southwest of the property. The site will connect to Mac Hatcher once it is constructed and through the Green existing subdivision. A condition has been added that requires the approval of the Mac Hatcher alignment by TDOT. Staff recommends favorably to the Board of Mayor and Aldermen.
Alderman Skinner, I'll recognize you for the motion.
Move for approval with the, do we have to amend this, or can I include
You
it in
can
the
just
motion?
include it all in one
To
motion.
include in the motion that we
May?
put,
Public hearing?
I'm sorry, I didn't,
Yeah,
I had the
let's do
public
that
hearing, I
first.
didn't close the public hearing, so I'm gonna close the public hearing because nobody came to speak. So, go ahead, I'm gonna recognize Alderman Skinner. Thank you.
I move that within this approval that we also include the language that was included on previous townhomes, just advising on the deed that people that purchase these units would be advised of the conditions of the garbage transfer, the noise from the police shooting range,
Is there a second?
Second.
firing range, yeah.
Seconded by Alderman Berger. Any discussion? Ready to vote on?
Did you hear it on the deed?
It goes on each deed, right.
Okay.
And then we would follow it with a plat.
Okay, you ready to vote? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Passes unanimously. Item number 7, this is a public hearing consideration ordinance 2017-50, second quarter budget, 2018 budget amendments. Does anyone want to speak to this body? Seeing none, I declare the public hearing closed. Is there a motion?
Second.
Seconded by Alderman Berger. Any discussion? Ready to vote? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. Item number 8, consideration consideration of bids received for municipal solid waste transport services and optionally municipal solid waste transfer station operation services for the city's city's municipal solid waste stream that is processed at the city's, I'm glad it's planning month. Is everybody clear on the motion? This
I don't
action
think they
needs to be
wrote
deferred.
this.
I'm going to recognize Alderman Peterson.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to move to defer this until the December 12th meeting. Second.
Seconded by Alderman Berger. Any discussion? Ready to vote? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. Item 9, consideration resolution 2017-77. Resolution to authorize the city of Frontington to submit an application to the Tennessee Department of Transportation for the FY 2018 Transportation Alternatives Program. Is there a motion?
Move for approval.
Appropriate motion by Alderman Skinner, seconded by the Vice Mayor. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
So moved. Second.
Seconded by Alderman Skinner. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We're dismissed.